Hello, my fellow D&D YouTubers. My name is Dr. DM.
I'm Uncle N.
And today, we're going to bring you another campaign diary for Chronicles of Frostfire. Hopefully, you've been catching up on these. We've been doing them kind of on different arcs of the campaign we just ran, Chronicles of Frostfire. And we talk about the different parts of the campaign. We break them down, really try to deep dive into them and see what we can take from them, see what you can take from them as a viewer for your home game, whether you're a DM or a player. We'll give you that perspective here from DM and player. And today, we're going to talk about the Maelstrom arc of the campaign. So, and what goes down, this is a bit of I mentioned this in the last video, like a Shawshank Redemption, like a jail escape or whatever, or like the...
the good guys escaping to save the day.
Yes, that one, yeah. Okay, so, last time they ended up going to the Blood Isles and getting a audience with the Council of Worms, and that was successful, and then when that finished, they found that their conch had this magical item that was going to take them to the Maelstrom, the seat of the court of the Storm Giants, was ready to go. It had been activated.
Yeah.
And so this is now going to be a situation where we're splitting the party, but not intentionally.
Yeah.
So this is a good point for many of you who watch. Sometimes maybe your players can't make it to a particular game, right? So let me know ahead of time.
Maybe they caught COVID.
Yeah. Let me know ahead of time. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure that your character's well treated, and this isn't necessarily going to be part of this particular episode coming up or session or whatever, but you'll be back when you need to, right? And so do you remember what I did for you?
I had a nice little mini vacation in Kentucky.
Yeah, with your childhood girlfriend.
Yes.
So there was a bubble, a Maelstrom, they activated the conch, it puts them in a giant bubble, and bubble, it turns out, had a weight capacity.
Yes.
And so, not weight, but like a magical essence capacity or whatever, vitality capacity. And so Enialis, who couldn't make it, and Raswar, who couldn't make it, boop, plopped down, and they got to stay in the Dragon Isles and have a good old vacation, eating dragon steaks and whatever for a while. So we moved on, in this case, with the 4 other players to continue the adventure. And
it was this was one of the more lighthearted adventures for part of it, at least.
I would say, there was there's some shenanigans.
The battle was pretty serious, but there's some fun shenanigans in this one.
So before the shenanigans, well, this is kind of shenanigans, they take a bubble, and the bubble goes into the Sea of Swords, like it goes down 20,000 leagues under the sea, and they're kind of in this bubble, they're like, oh my god, what's going on? Are we going to drown? And it goes all the way down into Maelstrom. And here they arrive in the helicopter landing pad or whatever, the bubble landing pad.
Exactly. A little bubble landing pad, and where there's air and hey, the ocean's up there,
Ocean's above it. It's really cool. And but the first thing that happens is they're not welcome there because they're not giants, and the giants have a bit of a problem now because the ordning's out of whack. So a bunch of Storm Giant troops burst into the opening, the staging room, and are like, "What are you doing here? And and you're under arrest, basically."
Yeah. Small folk not welcome.
Yeah, especially not right now. So, however, they do have an ace up their sleeves, which is
our fun little Basil. His sweet little giant
powers or whatever.
Yeah, giant powered self.
Yeah, Basil's a Rune Knight, and again, I'm trying to incorporate all the characters' backstories, and I really tailor. If you're a DM, I recommend this too. You tailor your campaign, everything that goes on, at least through the lens of your players, right? So I thought, okay, Basil's a giant, Rune Knight warrior kind of thing. Not a giant, but it's actually Yuan-ti.
He's been entrusted with this power.
Yeah, so they actually listen to Basil in this case and decide, okay, well, you're here with a Rune Knight, so that's okay, question mark. So maybe we'll let you slide. We're still going to put you under, and I think they got handcuffed or whatever by some Thunder Gauntlets or some Thunder.
We're going to throw you in jail until we work this out, but we're not just going to immediately smite you.
Yes. And so they get to talk with the queen, actually. Well, Princess Sarissa, who told her plight. Her dad had been captured, King Hekaton, the king of the Storm Giants. Mother was gone. But, despite her wanting to help, there was a bit of, let's say, a dark cloud behind her, who was Wymira. Who was Wymira?
Wymira?
Yeah, was who?
Our favorite ancient blue dragon.
Yes. Imris in disguise.
Yes.
So Imris was actually playing the part, polymorphed as a giant, an advisor, who had kind of been pulling the strings behind everything that's been going down with the ordning.
Basically like an old witch kind of character.
Kind of, yeah. was manipulating the princess and also the father and stuff beforehand. Yeah. So despite the princess not wanting to, Wahmira said you need to jail them. So the princess reluctantly says, "All right, I'm going to jail you." But
Basil's, you're a Rune Knight, for the Giants. We'll give you the luxury suite.
Yeah, you got the house arrest basically.
Yeah,
and then the other ones get taken to jail, as Uncle N just said. Mm-hmm. And there's one thing though, you may have, if you've been watching this campaign diary series, you found that before there was ripple effects in the campaign. So before the players had been ingenious in that they fired a ballista with a dragon killer,
dragon bane dagger,
against
Imrith to it.
Imrith, who showed up before mid-campaign, and they wounded her left arm. And so as they made their way out, and they were kind of looking to see, as they made their way out to the jail, one of them happened to hide a perception roll, happened to glimpse that Wahmira had Mark in the same arm. And they're like, wait a minute, that's Imrith.
Yeah.
And they did, but at that point, it's kind of too late because they found themselves in a jail. And I decided to divide their adventures in two because they're kind of divided here in that Basil had the luxury suite and they were all in underwater jail.
Yep.
So let's start with Basil first because it's kind of funny, I think.
Yeah, Basil's adventure here is the kind of lighthearted fun bit of this.
And Basil decided to try to figure out how to get out of here, how to help, his friends and save them. And he's like, and he noticed that there's a vent, yeah. And there's the typical ventilation shaft kind of situation, aerating this underground.
You've never seen this in a game before,
or a movie or anything.
Yeah.
And so Basil's like kind of crawling through here, and eventually he's a giant, so he can. He's not a giant, so he can actually just kind of stand up here.
Yeah, giant-sized ventilation shaft, essentially.
And I foreshadowed a little bit that there's other creatures around here that use it. Was like, there's like fish and there's crabs and there's so forth. And here, a crab appears. Not just any crab, like this, like Grip Your Dukes, like Irish pugilist, like turn of the century.
With the mustache and everything.
And so they had like a fisticuffs fight.
Yes.
And Basil took him down. What can I say?
And then the best part, the crab, out of respect.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, now we're friends. Now you can ride me into battle.
Yes, so Basil tamed this is now Basil's mount.
Yes,
is a
giant crab.
Buff giant crab.
With an awesome mustache.
Of course. And I was not expecting that, but I was like, this is so awesome. Yes.
Yes.
So, and then when we switched perspective to the other players, and I kind of back and forth a little bit, kind of keeping some tension and drama.
Their derpy guard.
Oh yeah, the guard was kind of asleep, and then one of the other guards left because as Basil was making through the grates, he ended up hearing a conversation, which was that Wahmira Imrith was staging a coup.
Yeah.
For the Giants.
She was using a little bit of
dragon magic.
Yeah, dragon magic items to control it was the head of the guard.
Yeah, the head of the guard. Yeah.
And using him basically to organize this coup and. Against his will.
Basically, 100%. And to finally, if this was successful, she would kind of have the reins of all the Giants because this is where the ordinance stems from the court.
Yeah, she would become now the leader of the Giants, awkwardly.
Despite being a dragon,
Yeah.
So then the other players in the jail cell, I don't know how the heck they got out. Vahera had some crazy thing. It was like an anti-magic net, but somehow she threw a dagger through it just by taking a bunch of damage. And so got the keys, and as soon as they got the keys and got out, Basil met with them. They figured out what was going on, that this coup was happening, right at the heart, in the throne room. They rushed over there, and they had a fight with all the,
with the mind-controlled head of the guard. What was the name?
Uthor, I think.
Yeah, and his soldiers. But they made quite a bit of effort to...
Non-lethal?
Yeah, not to kill Uthor, but to try to take out the crown, which they figured out was what was controlling him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were very smart. I was expecting them to either try to do some non-lethal. I don't know. I mean, again, the possibilities are endless. But they went for that crown. And I was like, hey, well, the crown has like a hardness value or like a hit points equivalent, and they
would get some good rolls too, which is what allowed them to do that fairly quickly.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I want to say that only took a couple attacks before they'd all managed to do like these nice big solid hits on it to get it off.
So so instead of like taking down these giants, they kind of found a way around that and took the crown.
Not to mention John went dragon form just to make everybody go.
Oh yeah, literally, giants and dragons hate each other. John turned into his dragon form, which is great because dragon form is super strong. But yeah, after the fight, he had to talk his way through that, and they were okay with it.
Yeah.
More or less because of what they'd done to help save.
Yeah.
Maelstrom.
The good deed overrode the you're a dragon, you need to die.
Yeah. And I think that was pretty much it. So they escaped from the jails. They saved the giant's court, the princess, and the princess told them exactly what happened. That her father had been kidnapped, and ends up they found.
Did we know at that point it was the Kraken Society?
Because somebody found in Imrith's room the coin that had the Kraken Society face on them, and the players quickly made the connection. And in fact, the players made a connection to like 55 episodes before, where they had been in Waterdeep and actually heard that there's been this Kraken Society thing, and it was related to something that one NPC they'd met with was Osk Thunderhail. It was one of a Corsair. And literally, I think at that point, I don't remember, Amalia took her notes and went back. She takes amazing notes.
Yeah.
And went back to through, I don't know, how many pages of notes. She's like, wait a minute, I remember this just happened in Waterdeep. And I was like, holy shit. You did this thing.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, that's exactly where it was. She dug back and figured that out. Put those connections back.
Entire, full-on, notebook full of notes from little years now.
Yeah, years. And she went back and found, that particular thing. So, for players, take notes, because you never know. It's invaluable.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm bad at, and thankfully we have someone like her in the group that can save us all.
Yeah, and she did, absolutely, yeah. She poured back into there and figured out that connection, where to find the Kraken Society and where Sarissa's, King Hekaton might be. And to do that, they had to go to Waterdeep, which is going to be the next arc.
Yes.
And where they're going to be at Waterdeep and travel the Sea of Swords a little bit.
Yeah, so gotta find a boat now.
Oh yeah, they needed a boat.
Not to mention, myself and Raswar need to show back up.
Oh yeah, that's also true, which they do. And not Raswar went away, but you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So here they go. They need to go secure a boat and talk with this old, not old NPC, but NPC from long time ago, who also happened to be an old flame of Vahera's. So let's see how they roleplay that. Yeah. Okay. So this has been the Maelstrom arc for Chronicles of Frostfire. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this was a fun one. You had serious drama. Literally on the verge of having the giants taken over by an evil dragon.
Yeah, that's insane.
But you have a buff crab with a mustache, and that just lightens everything up a bit.
It makes buff crabs with mustache make everything better.
But it's a good lesson for GMs. It doesn't all have to be heavy drama. It doesn't all have to be goofy, lighthearted stuff. It can literally, in one session, you can be bouncing around a little bit, as long as you don't go too much to extremes. You don't want to go straight from a few episodes ago, our heart-wrenching loss of Vex, to how we're having a happy adventure with goofy characters. You don't want that kind of stuff, but you can have fun side adventure stuff in the same episode or same session, I guess you should say, as your big important mini badass fights.
I agree. I think it's important to bookend serious moments and then later with a little bit of levity, so it's an up down. It's not so jarring, and everyone can feel comfortable and process everything too.
Yeah,
and have a good time overall. Because if it's too dramatic,
it gets heavy, and the players start to feel it.
Which is okay sometimes, because that's a cool thing you don't get to feel in your regular life all the time, and that's what we play D&D, to have these cool experiences, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
get to experience things you aren't going to run into in real life.
Yeah,
and get those emotional feelings, even though it's not happening to you, but you get attached to your character, and you get attached to these NPCs and stuff. You can feel the emotions just as if it were real people and real situations you're dealing with.
Yeah,
so.
I love it. Sometimes as a DM, I'm just watching and in amazement. I'm like, wow! So it's so cool. All right. Well, this has been our Chronicles Frostfire Diary entry. And thank you very much for watching.
Thank you. Smash that like button.
Leave a comment down below. Let us know if this has been helpful to you. If you have other tips for other players, for your from your campaigns or you as a player. And okay. So also subscribe.
Yes.
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 Again,
definitely that.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.